Hey everyone, Joe Waxman here. In this video, I want to look at a technique that I've been using for a while. It's not so much a technique as it is a knowledge, an observation that might be helpful in understanding the signs a bit better. And I'm just going to share my screen and pull this up. So I got rid of all the planets because this is just about the signs and their relative association with each other. I'm calling this complementary sign for each axis because each axis will have one sign that complements it, that enhances it, that sort of yeah, it's a complementary antagonism, if you will, and relates to the nature of each sign. All right. In order to understand this, you have to look at the numbers of each sign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And these are not arbitrary. Aries being the first sign has significance. Aries is number 1. Aries is about the concentration of energy into a single focused force. That's why, you know, if you get them angry, they're likely to pop you right in the nose without a second's thought, right? Aries is the spark that starts the whole forest fire, right? Aries is the initiator. Aries is the aggressor. Aries loves to start things. Aries is number 1. Taurus is number 2. We can see this by the balance that we have with two legs, 2 feet, right? 2 hands. We're firmly rooted in the ground with 2. We're stable. We're solid. 2 is associated with polarity, man, woman, yin, yang, up and down, yes, no, black, white. These are very Taurian, simple terms to you know, bring the smallest common denominator is the Taurian way of thinking. Foundational elements, numbers, polarities, right? If a Taurus says no, that's, you know, it's pretty firm. It's not like nuanced. There's not a lot, you know, it's not like maybe. It's not like, let's think about it. It's no, right? It's either yes or no with a Taurus. It's very dual that way. Now with Gemini, it's a lot more complicated because with the Trinity, you get the triangle, you get the triangulation, you get the connecting of the dots, and it's endless there, endless variation. It's off to the races with Gemini. And so on and so forth. The point of this is not to elaborate on the numbers for each sign. I've already done that. They all have significance. The water signs are 4, 8, and 12. These are easily divisible by 2. The prime numbers have significance, 3, 5, 7, and 11. Whether 1 and 2 are a prime number, I guess they are. Or maybe they're different terminologies. I think 2 is, but in any case, they all have significance. And we can gain, you know, 3, 6, 9. That, I mean, they're you know, each one will have its own unique nature, and we can derive a lot just by looking at the numbers and deriving energetic associations just from that, right? This is about archetypes, so it's very important to understand the numbers within the 12 set. But what this is it came from, I studied Vedic astrology as well as, you know, Western, and I studied also Chinese 4 pillars and Japanese 9 ki and yin and yang and 5 transformation theory, for Eastern stuff. But this particular technique is Vedic. It's called well, it's a derivation of the Vedic technique of bhavat bhavam, meaning the number from the number. So it doesn't really work with Aries because Aries would be first from the first, and first from the first is Aries, right? But let me just go to Taurus, and we're just looking at whole sign houses here. Let me just actually Now I'm just going to leave it because just ignore the quadrants. So second from the second, we'll get back to Aries, okay? It's just easier. Aries, even though it's first, it's going to go last. First is last, last is first. That's an energetic truth. All right. Second from the second is Gemini. Okay. What this means is when we say second from the second, it means Aries is first, Taurus is second. So Taurus is number 2. Second from the second, we don't count Gemini's number 1 when you're counting signs. It's always the first sign is the first sign. So first from the first is Aries. Second from the second, you go Taurus, Gemini. Second from the second is Gemini. It's not Cancer. Okay, I want to be clear about that. Don't get all funny in your head. Be like, well, Gemini's number 1. Gemini's first from the second. No. First from the second is Taurus. You always count the first sign as 1 when you're counting signs. Okay, so second from the second is Gemini. And so what this means is that Gemini is in Taurus's natural house, in the natural zodiac, right? Taurus occupies the second house. So what's the relationship here? Well, Taurus is number 2. And what's the aspect between number 2? Well, it's between Aries and Taurus, it's 112. Between Taurus and Gemini, it's 112. So Taurus has a 112th nature, being number 2. That's the aspect it represents. And this will make more sense as I go over each sign, each axis, actually, and look at the sign. And so why is Gemini? What does Gemini have to do with Taurus? Why is this a complement? Well, Taurus is so stagnated and heavy and dense that if you just have a lot of Taurus and no Gemini, particularly no Gemini, right? Maybe you have some other signs or whatever. It's going to be difficult for you to express yourself. Taurus is a very internal sign. It doesn't come out easily. It doesn't know how to express itself. It's very dense and heavy. Gemini is air. Gemini is intellect. Gemini is mutable air. And so the communication comes out. For instance, Taurus is associated with the voice, but the voice is nothing if you can't express it, right? Who cares if you have a voice if it won't come out? The expression is Gemini. So Gemini is a complement to Taurus, right? And a necessary complement. And it's part of the mystery of astrology is understanding the nature of each sign as a unique entity individually. Like it's not that each sign has this, this relationship. Each sign has a different complement. But this is about axes. So when we go to the Scorpio axis, we see something similar. Scorpio is number 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gemini again. Second from the second is Gemini. 8th from the 8th is Gemini. So the axis, the Taurus Scorpio axis, has a unique relationship with Gemini. But what's the connection here? Well, it's an inconjunct. Or a quincunx. And I thought that was a difficult aspect. I thought that was a bad aspect. How could Scorpio have a complementary relationship with Gemini when they're inconjunct from each other? Well, it has to do with the nature of Scorpio. The nature of Scorpio is number 8, and 8 is the number of inconjunct, right? We count 8 spaces from any ascendant, you're going to get the 8th house. That's the inconjunct. Inconjunct is always 8 or 6, right? And we'll get to that. We'll look at that later. But in this case, it's Gemini. Gemini's in the 8th house. For the Scorpio ascendant, and this is the map of Scorpio, remember, every whole sign house is telling a different quality to the nature of Scorpio. Scorpio puts Gemini in the 8th house. Why? Well, Scorpio is very deep and fathomless even. So deep and heavy and kind of a mystery to itself because it's very hidden. Gemini helps unearth that. With the powerful intellect, with the mutable air, it really lightens up both this. These are both heavyweights. I mean, these are the heavyweights of the zodiac. Taurus and Scorpio, real heavyweights, right? And so what's their complementary sign? It's Gemini. Yep. Gemini is perfect for unearthing the depths, exploring the depths. Gemini's the scorpionic spelunker. He's going into Scorpio's cave and discovering all the gems and expressing them, getting them out to the world, telling the world Scorpio's secrets, right? And without that, it's even a mystery to Scorpio. Scorpio doesn't even know its own depth, right? It's discovering itself. And what better way to discover itself than to use Gemini to go down in those deep caves and be like, hey, I found a gem, I found a secret, I found a treasure chest, I found a bug, I found a river, right? I found a crystal, I found a skull, all kinds of stuff you can find down there. And it just keeps going deeper and deeper. And Gemini's like, ooh, wow, like exploring everything and unearthing it and, shouting out, hey guys, I found something down here, right? Sort of like that. Heaviness and lightness, mutable air. There's nothing lighter than Gemini. Maybe Libra, cardinal air, right? But, those are the two. I mean, as far as air signs, Aquarius is like the heaviest of the air because it's fixed air, right? But yeah, the inconjunct, it's not always bad for certain signs. And so it's like the semi-sextile or the 1/12 and the 5/12. Those are the Taurus Scorpio axis aspects. And Gemini is the sign that harmonizes. And another way to look at it is that opposites are polar opposites are a way to balance it. Like how do you balance Taurus? You balance Taurus with Scorpio. How do you balance Scorpio? You balance Scorpio with Taurus. But then you kind of get this pendulum swinging, like, back and forth, ping pong. And it's just sort of like, oh my God, how do we ever get out of this? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The way out is through Gemini. Gemini complements both Taurus and Scorpio. Heard it here first. This is not something that somebody spelled out for me. I figured this out. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. Okay. Maybe in a different way. I don't know. Maybe other astrologers have figured it out. I have not heard this before, right? So I'm explaining to you something that I figured out on my own. Now let's go to Gemini. This will be the Gemini-Sag axis. At third from the third is Leo. Okay. You take Gemini ascendant, you go to the third house of the intellect, of communication, and you get Leo. Why? Why does Gemini use Leo? Well, this is pretty straightforward. Gemini is very intellectual. Gemini is the head. Leo's the heart. Leo is all about the love and the creativity and the passion and the brightness and the ego. And they're complementary. This sextile relationship. Gemini represents a sextile. Okay. That's the ease of Gemini's, motion. It's a sextile relationship. And Leo is a complement. Leo is fiery, passionate, and heartfelt and creative, right? You get skill with Gemini, skill with the hands. Well, what good is skill with the hands if you don't have anything creative? Leo gives it life. It's the head and the heart relationship. And that's a very human combination, head and heart. Without the skills, without the heart, what good is skills? What good are you going to do like just all head? You're a robot, right? You need that Leo, the passion, the light, the fire, the ego, the brightness, the showcase, getting it out, making it big, being on stage, right? Let's go to Sagittarius. Ninth from the ninth. What do we have here? Leo. Okay. That's why these are all about the axis, the complementary sign of each axis. The Sag Gemini axis is all about the head. It's the small mind versus the big mind, but it's all mind. Gemini Sag is all mind, right? Sagittarius is all the philosophy, religion, higher mindedness, travel, adventure, right? Master's degree, higher education, all that. And in the 9th house, it has Leo. Again, this is a trine relationship. So Sagittarius embodies the trine aspect. Gemini embodies the sextile, Sag embodies the trine, and it's harmonized. They're both harmonized by Leo. And what a great sign to be harmonized by Leo. Everyone loves Leo, right? And yeah, again, even though you're going to be, big and philosophical and religious and, very, very high-minded, you still need that heart. You still need the passion. And not that, well, they're both fire signs, so they're both passionate. Leo is just more individuated, ego-based, prideful, royal, regal, kingly, right? And it's a bit more hearty, heartfelt than Sagittarius, which is a bit more mental. But it's a trinal relationship. It's very harmonious. It's probably the easiest and most skillful connection because it's trine, right? All right. So that's the trine, that's Sag, that's Gemini, trine is sextile. Let's go to Cancer. All right. Now, Cancer is opposite Capricorn. Cancer is the 4th sign. The 4th from the 4th is Libra. And so why Libra? Libra in the 4th, Libra in Cancer's house, Libra at home. Libra's all about balance. Libra's all about peace and equality and equanimity. It's very intellectual. Cancer is very emotional. It is motherly, protective, but you need emotions can be very destructive if they're not well balanced. Of course, you can go to cold, bossy Capricorn, but then again, you have that ping pong, Capricorn, Cancer, emotions, a career and achievement, right? Libra is the healthy balance between the two of those, right? Cancer's imbalance is that it can just be way too emotional, right? And it can act out of emotion. And when you're acting out of emotion, you can do some crazy stuff, right? Of course, there's a lot of love, nurturing, care, concern, maturity, protectionism, stuff like that. Cancer is a lovely sign, right? Ruled by the moon, but it's really harmonized by the peaceful, intellectual, equality, balanced nature of Libra. That is also a judge, a referee, a jury, a business partnership, the marriage itself, right? What good is the mother and father without marriage, right? So you have a lot of it's very complementary, and it's a square, right? It's obviously the square. If it's a superior square if you take Cancer as the lead, right? Meaning that, yeah, any case. But let's go to Capricorn, the opposite, and Libra's in the 10th. Again, a square. This is a superior square from Libra's side, inferior from Capricorn's side. But Capricorn is very business-minded, very ambitious, very worldly, very fatherly, very responsible, but potentially cold and materialistic, authoritarian, controlled, unemotional, right? And Libra is a lot softer than Capricorn. It's ruled by Venus, but it's still very intellectual, great for business, great for public image, great for peaceful, contractual business dealings. It's the marketplace, it's the contract, it's the law, it's the a very harmonious, balanced, peaceful, business-minded, also very intellectual complement to Capricorn's ambitious, worldly, ladder climbing, materialistic nature, right? So again, the square and the square. So Capricorn, Cancer represent the square, and harmonized by Libra, complemented by Libra. Right. Okay, let's go to Leo. I'm going the long way, I know. Leo, number 5, fifth from the fifth, Sagittarius. Haven't we seen that one before? Well, yes, we have. Sagittarius and Leo are each other's complement. Really interesting, right? Well, what about Aries? We'll get to Aries. Aries is first from the first. It's all about itself. But Leo and Sag are all about each other. Leo and Sag love each other. Leo and Sag are just true complements to each other. Again, it's the same harmony. The head and the heart, the wisdom and the passion, the love, right? The honor and the philosophy, right? The wisdom and the creativity. A real complementary duo with Leo and Sagittarius, right? You need that wisdom to balance out that ego. Let's go to Aquarius. 11th from the 11th, Sagittarius. Again, the Leo Aquarius axis is harmonized by Sagittarius. Let's see here. Aquarius is very social. It's thinking about society. It's thinking about uniqueness and individuality. It's very intellectual, very smart. Probably on par, the intellect is equally as developed in both. It's a little different. This is more like, philosophical, very high-minded, grad school type stuff, as well as religious. Aquarius is not religious, but very scientific, very inventive. You could say like an intellectual creative genius, and very social, but they're balancing each other. One is concerned with society and being, equality and social. It wants the utopian civilization, ideally. And Sagittarius is the wisdom and the philosophy and the religion and the academia. And so it's a sextile relationship, just like Gemini and Leo. Aquarius, the two air signs, we'll get to Libra as well. The two air signs are have sextile relationships with their harmonious sign, but these are a great duo, Sagittarius and Aquarius, both so minded, high-minded, both such big, well-developed thinkers that they just need each other, right? They just need each other to complete each other. The social thinker needs the philosophical, religious, academic thinker. The scientist needs the wisdom, right? The rebel needs the cause. Something like that. Yeah, let's so where were we? It was Leo. Let's go to Virgo. We'll go this way this time. 6th sign. Oh, we were just looking at Aquarius. 6 from the 6 is Aquarius. Now here again, two very powerful intellectual duos, right? Virgo is the analyst, the Puritan, the critical, very extremely critical, judgmental intellectual, the puritanical. It's Virgo can be very uptight, but such a sharp mind, like razor blades, Virgo. And Aquarius is also extremely intellectual, but the complement is that Aquarius is quirky as can be, absurd, and Aquarius will meet Virgo's intellect and really, take it out of the box, shake it up a bit, add a healthy dose of humor, and just be like, hey man, loosen up, lighten up, let's have a lot of fun and be brilliant at the same time, right? Aquarius is absurd, and Aquarius has such a fantastic sense of humor, right? So wonderful compliment to Virgo's intellectual prowess, right? Let's go to Pisces. Let's do it like that. All right, 12th from the 12th is Aquarius. So the Virgo, and by the way, that is an inconjunct, Virgo to Aquarius. And you might not think that's a combination that works, but there's something there. There's something there. They can meet each other intellectually and help each other out. Aquarius helps Virgo out. Now, how about Pisces? Pisces and Aquarius, that's a 1/12 relationship, semi-sextile, difficult relationship, but it's within Pisces nature. It's a Piscean relationship because it's a 12th aspect, and Pisces embodies the 12th aspect. It's 12th from the 12th. This is in Pisces subconscious. Pisces represents the subconscious, and Pisces subconscious is Aquarius, 12th from the 12th. So what's Pisces all about? Pisces is all about the imagination, the dream, the escapism, the fantasy, the mysticism, potentially drugs and alcohol, but also the creativity, just the boundarylessness, compassion, the collective subconscious, right? There's just huge expansive nature that is harmonized by Virgo, because Virgo is so sharp and analytical. But you always get a ping pong effect with the opposites. They are complementary, but at the same time, you can get trapped in this back and forth binary, ping ponging duality between Virgo and Pisces. And the way out is through Aquarius. Aquarius is the harmonizing sign for both of these, because Aquarius can match Pisces' big-mindedness. Aquarius' mind is so big and expansive, right? It's thinking about the whole world, all of civilization, but it's far more intellectually astute than Pisces. Pisces has a lot of wisdom and intelligence, but it's not logical. It lacks the logic that Virgo has, right? And Aquarius can bring it down to the logic, but also match its eccentricity. A Pisces and Aquarius together can be, completely the quirkiest duo, right? They can just have so much fun, just being weird, out of the box, expressive, individual, unique, just doing their own thing, right? And again, the Aquarius can one up it with the logical, the contracted intellect, the ability to be scientific and factual, right? So that's how Aquarius can harmonize Pisces. It's sort of like it's taking the Pisces and Virgo two-side duality and putting it together, right? And then so the inconjunct and the 1/12 semi-sextile aspect. Now let's go to Aries, and then we'll look at Libra. The first from the first is Aries. Aries is complete on its own, and if you have a doubling over of Aries, it's just like more Aries, just because it's like a single point has no polarity, right? It's one. It's complete on itself, by itself, all on its own. And I'm sure Aries love to hear that. Of course, nobody has all Aries, but Aries has its own sort of resolution baked within its own nature. And so that's kind of unique to Aries. Aries has a very a unique quality that it doesn't really need a complementary sign. It has an opposite, and that's Libra. But Libra's nature also is harmonized by Aries, both in its opposite and its 7th from the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Aries is 7th from the 7th. So the Libra's harmony is Aries. Libra always wants a partner, right? Libra is all about the partnership, and Aries is the partner. It doesn't really need, its harmony is in that it needs a partner, and Aries needs itself, right? And that's how it's not really going back and forth, because it's like Aries, Libra needs a partner in Aries, and Aries needs more of itself, and so the energy stays with Aries. It's not ping-ponging back and forth. Interestingly enough, and the aspects that they represent are Aries represents the conjunction, and Libra represents the opposition. Okay, so whenever you have these aspects, you can look and see, well, okay, if it's a conjunction, it's embodying an Aries nature. If it's an opposition, it's embodying a Libra nature. I know that some other, there's different, if you look at the Thema Mundi, they say the opposition is a Saturnian nature, and I forget all the different, but I like this way better. And this way makes much more sense to me. Saturn doesn't really embody an opposition. Anyway, this is more about signs, not planets. The conjunction is the Aries nature. The opposition is the Libra nature. The semi-sextile are the Taurus and Pisces nature. When you have 1/12, they are the Taurus and Pisces nature. When you have the sextile, they are of the Gemini, Aquarius nature. Semi-sextile, Gemini, sextile, Gemini, and Aquarius. Semi-sextile are Taurus and Pisces. Sextile are Gemini and Aquarius. The square is Cancer and Capricorn, and I know I have it reversed. We'll do it in reverse, I guess. We can do it like that. The trine are of the Leo Sagittarius nature, right? Trines are Leo and Sagittarius. And the inconjunct are Scorpio, Virgo and Scorpio nature. And the opposition, once again, is Libra nature. And so you can kind of feel that, right? It's baked within Scorpio's nature to be inconjunct. What is Scorpio's nature? It's not peaceful. It's not harmonious. I'm sorry. I've heard some, and by the way, there's some crap definitions on the internet about these signs. They really are. People just say whatever they want and they get by because they're just like 21-year-old girls who are cute, and they just say garbage stuff, and people click like on their videos just because they're cute, right? It's garbage and it's garbage and it's garbage. So that's how I sum up that. In any case, if a girl is young and cute, you probably don't want to listen to her, because people only like her because she's young and cute. And she doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. And she just thinks she knows what she's talking about because people like her videos because she's young and cute. And there's a lot of them out there, right? So I stay away from the young, cute girl astrologers. They're pretty much mostly garbage. All right. But Scorpio, baked into Scorpio is this inconjunct nature, and Virgo too. Neither of these signs are very, very easy to be around or to deal with. And if you pay attention, if you know anything about astrology, you'll confirm this. Virgo walks around with razor blades and cuts everyone, with their criticisms constantly. Constant Virgo like right? Scorpio has the stinger and will, sting you with their venom. Whenever they're annoyed. Scorpios are often extremely narcissistic, not always, but they can be very narcissistic, extremely vengeful. And I'm not trying to, because I'm both of these, so I'm like criticizing myself. Obviously, they have very positive natures, but they do embody this difficult aspect, which is the inconjunct, because they're inconjunct from Aries, the ascendant. Right? Let's put it in reverse. So yeah, the inconjunct. So yeah, so thinks when you think inconjunct, you can relate these to Virgo and Scorpio, and then the trines, Leo and Sagittarius. The squares, Capricorn, Cancer. The sextiles, Gemini and Aquarius. The semi-sextiles, Pisces and Taurus. The conjunctions, Aries. The oppositions, Libra. And so that's important. And then again, once again, each sign has its complement. Aries is complemented by Aries. Taurus is complemented by Gemini. Think of this as like leavening in bread, like bread needs air, otherwise you just have a dense brick. That's a good analogy, right? Taurus is food. You want that lightness, you want that levity. That's or the expression to the voice. Taurus and Gemini, always complementary, right? Gemini to Leo, the skills with the artistic, you know, if you just have skills and no art, it's not, you know, nonsense. You know, you're not, who cares, right? Cancer and Libra. You need peace, you need equality, you need the intellect to balance the emotional nature of Cancer, right? And it's the square. Leo to Sag, again, the head and the heart. These are an easy duo. The head and the heart in a fiery trine relationship. I mean, perfectly complementary. Virgo with the inconjunct to Aquarius, the two of the really well-developed intellects. And Aquarius is just going to help Virgo step out of the box, be more unique, be more independent, be more individual, and lighten up, loosen up. You uptight, razor blade, critical Virgo. I'm talking to myself. All right. And Libra, you know, loves Aries. Libra loves everyone. Libra loves relationships. And yeah. Scorpio, also the inconjunct to Gemini. You know, the deep caves. Just remember the deep caves. It needs the curious butterfly intellectual of Gemini to explore all its treasures deep down inside that it doesn't even know what's in there, right? That's Scorpio, and Scorpio represents the inconjunct. It embodies the inconjunct. It has that inconjunct nature, so it's okay with an inconjunct with Gemini. By the way, that's where I'm at. I'm Scorpio ascendant, Gemini sun, and Venus. Right. And it's a great combination, brilliant. Scorpio, by the way, is very brilliant in its own way, psychologically, like occultic, like secrets, digging deep. And then Gemini really helps express it, right? What good is all that intellect if you can't express it well? Sag and Leo, such an easy combination, really doesn't need much explanation. Just, you know, the high-mindedness and the heart, right? That's really all you need. The heart and the art and the love, right? And the pride and the ego and the showbiz, the showiness. Capricorn and Libra, right? Great business partners, fantastic. They make lots of money together, Capricorn and Libra. Libra is so smart. Capricorn is so structured and ambitious, right? So easy combination. This is the 10th from the 10th. That's why the 10th house and the 7th house have a lot in common. These are public images, public image, public relations. These are personal relations. You need both. And they both have, you see, like, you can see famous people with planets in both these houses a lot of times. Aquarius and Sag. Aquarius needs that wisdom just so it doesn't get too cold and intellectual, right? Aquarius is not a very emotional sign. It's not extremely connected to the heart. It needs a bit of that fiery heart wisdom. You know, and then if you get another trine to Leo, you know, even better. But I mean, it's opposite Leo. So, I mean, again, this axis, right? It needs Leo, but it also needs Sag, Aquarius. It really helps ground it in something human and humane. Otherwise, Aquarius can be too heady. And then, of course, Pisces and Aquarius. Aquarius can meet Pisces in their craziness and their uniqueness and their expressiveness, but it solidifies it a bit more and brings it into the logical realm that Pisces really needs. Pisces really needs that logic. Otherwise, it can be too out there, too expansive, right? So, yes, that is it, guys. That is my secret to the axes, the sign axes, the harmonious sign that complements each axis. And And I use this in my astrology. I take note, I look at the combinations, see if they're, having a complementary, somebody has too much Taurus, no Gemini, it's all going to be internal. They're never going to get it out. They're just going to go, they're not going to be able to talk it out. They're not going to be able to express themselves. They're just going to be, that loaf of bread that never rose, and it's going to be way too dense, right? So like that. And I don't want to go over each one again, but just that was a just summarizing thing, like a way to understand this, right? Just think of that the Taurus Gemini relationship, a loaf of bread that doesn't rise. Yeah. Okay. That's it. I hope you found this useful. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope you use it in your astrology to understand the connections, a more intricate way of interesting way or harmonious way of looking at the signs and looking at complementary signs that are not just normally talked about, right? Okay. That's it. Please hit the like button, guys, and subscribe if you haven't already, and book a reading with me. My website is macroastrology.com. My email is macrogoldmachine.com. And leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. All right, thank you. Bye.